Hello and good afternoon. Hope you're all having a wonderfully blessed and divinely guided, fantastic Friday. It's April 11th, 2025. Here again with
Hey,
some different information. So I would like my co-host, what's your
introduce.
name again?
It
Morgan,
is
of course.
at MorganBlogs1997. I am more of your daily life, gaming, plants, gymming person. I'm pretty much like a whole daily blog thing. So that's pretty much what my
Hi,
channel's
Nancy.
about.
Hi, Nancy. Um,
Hey,
so a lot
Nancy.
of this conversation is going to be, I guess what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to do a pretty cool thing. I'm going to bring up sort of some subjects, asking, and he'll ask me too. It'll be back and forth. But what we're gonna do, I think that this will probably work the best, is that when we're done with each thing, like we see what the community is talking about, what the comments are. So we're
Okay.
keeping. So we were talking before, like that. This is a mental health conversation channel, and yesterday was out of line a little bit for me. With what I am as a person. Like I'll react like that. I'll act like that. That's not a problem. I'm not ashamed of anything. What I am in understanding of is that I didn't benefit anybody yesterday. I didn't benefit the people that I thought that I was trying to protect, nor I think that even Morgan thought so either, because at the end we were like, did these people even listen and understand that these people were, and they
You
weren't.
might as well call it this.
Yeah. So we realized in discussion, even though I put out the two shorts today, that one of them got a nice hit, um, we're gonna approach this from a different angle, and we're gonna it's trial and error because we're both growing. You know, we're separated in age, and a lot of the reason why we work well together is because he's going through things at his age that I've gone through, and
I'm
I
27.
think I think I can help. Hopefully I can, but it's not even really about helping. Hello, Libby. It's more about people like myself and people like, I'm pretty sure Morgan. We sometimes have a difficult time having other people understand us. Hello, Lisa's got style. Happy
Lisa.
Friday. Great to see you. And that's not my intention, but that's what happens when I raise my voice or I get emotional or I get silly or I get
Even
whatever it may
expressing
be.
yourself goes too far for some people.
Exactly. And so
Mm.
these are going to be things that you and I will hopefully be able to work on gradually and slowly, these tools that I've been learning
Yeah,
from Joe.
definitely.
And I think that literally they will work for both of us. And, you know,
Definitely.
these are not tools that you and I need to have any degree for.
No.
These are tools that we need to have patience and exercise. We need to exercise it. And so when I mentioned to you like mixed martial art, like martial arts, this is not martial arts where you're physically doing anything. This is martial arts where you're catching
This
your
is
mind
this
and
is
allowing it.
mental.
Exactly, mental mastery is what the idea is. So it is about mental mastery. Um, and I'd like to find out your opinion on that. What do you think what mental mastery means to you?
I
Oh,
honestly, I have no clue.
dude,
What?
somebody's on your live.
Yeah, it's Libby.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, I said hey,
okay, cool, cool, cool.
but I honestly don't have a straight answer because I never looked at that subject before in my head, so I honestly don't know.
Well, let me ask you, what would you like to gain control of if you had the opportunity? What are things that you think that would benefit you in life for the future that I've talked to you about that I still am practicing and trying to learn? That if you could catch them 20 years before me, like
So
I'm talking to you, like,
if I
hey, this
could if I could figure so things that I want to change about myself,
not change, make better. I'm sorry, I don't want to use
make
the word
better.
change. Make better.
Okay, well, what I want to make better about myself mostly is being angry and stuff, being bipolar all the time. The small stuff will set me off. You know,
You want to better
conversation.
that.
opinions and stuff. I can't hold down a job because of that reason. Um, it turns out all
Criticism.
that, yeah, criticism turns into anger, and then all that turns into depression. Then,
Do you, do you have a way that you work with it, or does it just have to end by itself?
honestly, it just that's why I went on that subject of me having no filter. I'm still in the process of learning to have a filter and stuff. And hey, Joe,
Hey, Joe.
but
You see, this
yeah,
is
but
where I think that we can go if you'd be willing to, because this is where I want to go. And with what happened yesterday, my intention was not to pull you on into the conversation. It was to
no, that
find
wasn't
out
your
the
thing, 'cause
question
that was
that I.
not your fault. That I put myself into it.
No, no, no,
Like,
I know. But remember, the question was I. Remember, there was a question that I asked you even before we even talked about coming on. There was a question
okay,
that I asked you sent to me in a nasty note that we don't need to talk about. But that question was about something that I was doing wrong to somebody that's doing something that I don't even know that they're doing, but I'm
yeah,
talking bad about them. And I'm like, I don't know anybody so that's doing that I'd be talking bad about. And if they're doing something like what this person explained to me that they were doing, I would without a doubt not talk bad about them. I would actually ask them, is there a way that I can help you? And if I couldn't personally find a way to help you, I wouldn't just go trash them. I'd find other people that could help them, just like
yeah,
I've done before here. I can't answer everybody's question, but I do know a lot of people, or did know a lot of people that could answer questions for people, so I could go and connect them together.
yeah,
Now it seems like there's been a lot of loss with inside of that, and I will have to say that I struck up the last vigor. I did, and it was because some triggers inside of me that I'm working with, and some personal things that are going on in life. That does not mean I change my point of view on these individuals. That just means I've changed my point of energy on what I give. So what
and
I
give back
offer.
what you're giving to them or what you offer. Yeah,
Exactly. Well, what I'm asking here with you and what I'm offering with us is that we post on a positive tip. We don't care
okay,
about what they're doing. We find solutions to combat
combat that
in a good
situation
way
in a good
to
way.
bring people to understand, like, here, if you want this, then this is what's here for you. If you
Yeah,
want whatever else you want, that's up to you. There's no ultimatums, there's none of that. There's just understandings that if you want good, then you want good. If you don't know what you want and you're on the fence, bad is going to snatch you off the fence. Because
yeah,
if you think about it, the story goes like this. The person thinks that he's going to go sit there and straddle on the fence, go, hey, I want to do some things that are immoral and I want to do some things that are moral. Well, one day, sitting on the fence, he gets snatched to the ground, and that's the devil saying, you know something? I own the fence.
hmm.
So don't play on the fence. And that's where I played yesterday.
Play on the
Okay.
fence.
I apologize to the people that were innocently affected by it. I do not apologize to the people that judged it. Those people can go where they need to be judged. And I apologize to no one else that I judged because they did that to me. These were personal experiences that they did to me. So I'm not talking bad about somebody if they do something bad to me. That
Yeah,
right there is common sense, not me being, what did you say I was? I don't remember what you said I was. I didn't. Oh, wait. I'm ignorant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that I can add 1 + 1 = 2. Um, um, but I don't, I go and digress. This is something that I've been sharing with Morgan the last day and today. So I was telling him about my slogan. You basically, mental health is not a game, but mastering your mind is the aim. And I spelled it AMI. And he's like, that's cool. And he likes to rap. He likes to do music and stuff like that. Not I'm not gonna ask him to rap, but he likes to do stuff. And so
I
like,
might
oh, that's cool.
sometime. I might sometime.
That's
Depends.
cool. Oh,
Might.
that'd be awesome.
It might happen
You're
sometime and
always
stuff. I
welcome
just
to.
gotta have some time. That's all I
Oh,
take. Need some time. I just need
um,
some time. That's all I need.
and he liked the idea of it. And so I expressed to him what these things meant. And that they're not like just words for you just to look at, but they're the way, like I was asking before, what do you want out of your mind? And so of course I know for a fact because I talked to him, he wants to get his trigger under control. He doesn't like being mad when he's mad. First of all, he doesn't like that it takes so long for him to get unmad. It's not even the fact that he gets mad; it's that he gets mad, and I've been there.
And honestly, actually, after a while, it does hurt because you start getting headaches and stuff after that, or
Yeah,
migraines, and
it's a trap.
it starts ruining your sleep and stuff, and because your mind's
Yeah,
everywhere and all that, and just it's not good. Should not.
not at all. And
Then it
so,
also ruins relationships and jobs. So
well, you don't need to remind me of that one.
I
Okay,
know,
so, but no, 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 you're right. You're right. No, you're
but
totally
that's
right.
the part of bipolar. That's what it does. That's what it does.
It's I don't maybe with you, but I've not been diagnosed like that. I look at it more in the lines of like I'm pushed. My trigger is pushed, so I'm not able to. It's not like I'm waking up upset because something wasn't done. I'm waking up and then I'm still
I
able to
do
pray to
that.
God.
I do that. I
Wait, no,
wake
no,
up
you
mad just for nothing.
that's see, I used to, and then I
My
started
face
being
usually
grateful
look
to
like this.
God. Well, remember we talked about
Yeah,
the grateful thing. We talked
yeah.
about the grateful thing. And so grateful, you did it once today. You even said, hey, I didn't do it on the same time, but hey, you did it.
No,
Okay.
yeah,
Pat
yeah.
be like, hey, I did it. Like this is the step that you be proud of yourself. This is the step that you do. So this is the micro step that every like tier one. So tier one is considered like, high end military, SEAL team. Those are tier one individuals. They are top notch mental. They're not going to break. Okay.
Yeah.
So professional athletes go to them to find out how to, I'm having a problem catching the ball. How do I do this? How do I either go to a sports like care, so they go to one of these people.
So it's just like if
So
they dump in cold water and they're supposed to sit there, they ain't supposed to break.
these people would sit there until the
Okay.
cold water turned hot.
Yes,
Okay,
they
no matter
train
if there
for
was an
that.
ice cube
They
underneath it
sit
with
there
a
for
refrigerator.
midnight in cold temperatures with water on them for hours. I've seen it.
No, no, no. That's that. Well, the point of it is this: is that they have been able to be taken out of the mass of people. They're the small group of people, the small
Oh yeah,
percentage of people.
they're more advanced.
Well, their mind is able to not be controlled by the outcome. They're controlling the
So they're not
outcome by their
manipulative.
mind.
So they're not easy to manipulate.
Right. And so
Yeah.
they don't get triggered. When they get triggered, they take control right away. And so when you notice something that's really small, what they do is if let's say they're on a mission where they need to walk 10 clicks. I don't know what that is, 10 kilometers or whatever.
Yeah, 'cause they
They're
can't
not
get
going
them
to do that
killed.
in one
Yeah.
step. So it's going to take a bunch of steps to do it. So let's say every one click, they're like, "Hey, let's take a break. Let's take scope out." They're representing their little mini reward of dopamine that they've gotten to a certain part of the mission because it's really easy to go, hey, we got to do the whole mission, but how tired are you going to be trying to get to the edge of the mission if you have to do each step and it's challenging? You
Yeah.
accomplish each step and you say, hey, so the first step today was you even acknowledging that you didn't say grateful right away and you wanted to
Yeah.
say grateful later on when you talk to me.
Yeah. I
So
did.
be
Good
proud of
for
yourself
that.
with
Yeah.
that. You'll build on that. That right there is the building block for tomorrow. You might recognize to do it on your own.
I'll recognize it
Even if you
tomorrow.
don't,
I'll definitely recognize it tomorrow. I will, because it's clicked. And now it's clicked. Somewhat it clicked. So
well,
so
like you said, we all work in different ways.
progress,
And
progress.
it's
Don't know, but you
sometimes,
don't know until tomorrow happens. So
well, no, it's also like the way that you said that when you speak, sometimes you want to just get it out and you can't get it out. And that frustrates you because
I get it out
it's
too
like,
fast, and when they can't understand it, then I get it out again. Yeah.
right. Or
Yeah.
somebody over talking you and
Hmm.
like not really listening to what you were saying, but they're just like, oh, yeah. Da, 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 da.
I even had people try to do that and over like conversations that they'll overdo it like they were I can really say I used to take it like more like their opinions more as a like an insult because I don't know I just didn't take their opinion honestly I just didn't
I
my
know we
mind's
talked about that before.
yeah,
Us too. We've talked about that before.
yeah,
And that's like the reason why this is happening. Okay, everybody. Besides God, this is happening because Morgan is an individual that I know. I see the potential that he wants to do good for himself. He
yeah.
knows he struggles. That's the first thing in line is when you know you struggle. He sought me out. I even told him the first time, I'm like, dude, I'm not watching video games. He's like, dude, I talk too. I do other things too. You just got to check me out. He sent me a thing. He was talking. I was like, okay, I like you, bro. So it started slowly because I had an opinion about not wanting to waste time watching video games. And he was like, I don't only do that. And I'm like, then show me something different. And he did. And so when him and I are talking and I'm seeing that he's doing a lot of things that are really good for himself, and as this whole thing with his other channel has changed to something positive, and he's talking about herb gardens and doing these vegetables and doing like weight train, like he's doing things, and he's thinking of positive solutions. To me, I want to help encourage that. Just like when I get encouragement, it helps me grow. I want to help encourage that, and I've always wanted to. But
Yeah,
when he was with Cody, it was very hard to because I
very
couldn't.
difficult. Yes, I know.
And so like he like there wasn't a strife. It's just that he wasn't in the same mindset. He didn't want to talk about mental health awareness. I mean, he did when we were talking about it personally, but he didn't want to talk about it
Cody,
on the show.
so
That
Cody, the person I've noticed. See, after a year of knowing Cody for so long, or for at least that year or whatever, he's so ruined. His life is so ruined that it'd probably be hard to fix him.
but there again, if we let me ask you this. I know that you've had issues. But
Yeah,
one of the methods of what we are able to do here is through time. Okay, if we breathing exactly. But one of the things is through breath is the understanding that God is what gives us that breath. We don't need to get into any specific religion. Just the aspect that there is a higher being than us, and this higher being wants best for us, regardless of how bad it seems to our eyes, what we physically see. And I told you that my day was pretty tough today.
I
No
know. I
matter
know.
what we, right,
This
no
is
matter
actually my
what
first
we
time. See,
see,
I honestly, this is my first time actually seeing you. Well, seeing that of you.
right.
Yeah,
So I have to put inside my heart and inside my thoughts and with you when I talk about it that God has brought us together.
yeah, I can feel it for sure. Yeah, I can feel
God
it for
has
sure.
kept me in your life and you in my life, regardless of all the changes.
Yeah,
Just like
change happened
God has
for a
kept me
reason. I can
inside.
feel it. Change did happen for a reason.
Well, the same thing that happened with Joe.
Yeah,
I've mentioned to Joe plenty of times. Are you okay that I've mentioned your name when I talk about some of this mental health awareness subject? Because these are tools that he's sharing with me so I can help myself. And I'm
yeah,
like, I think these tools would be great to use. And he's like, you can use them. And then we started talking about something, but it's better than that. When I went backwards for the last 2 days, went on my little rant and everything like that,
yeah,
that's because of the fact that when I go through personal stuff outside of here, I have a hard time regulating the people getting rewarded for bad behavior. What I have to realize when I get regulated, and I wasn't regulated today, but being so unregulated, it got me to regulate because I was closest to God this morning because I was so upset.
yeah,
What it got me to understand was this. That's why it's such a quick change. That's the way things work. When you're with God, I mean, it's instant. Literally, it's instant. You just have to
you
put it
need to move
out
that
there.
negative and put in the positives.
Automatic negative
That's all
thought
you
out the
gotta
door.
do.
God will work
Negative,
with
put
you.
in the
You think
positive.
about the automatic negative thought, God thinks that that's what you want. So
Yeah,
God will keep you in that position. So literally within a couple hours, I've been able to construct with thought process and with these tools and with help. And a lot of the help has been through conversation with a couple of my friends, Morgan being one of them, Joe being another one, my buddy Mike.
hey
So
Joe.
I had some confidants today that know me and know my where I like to get trapped, where I'll accept to get trapped. Okay, I'm comfortable being here even though it really stinks. Do you know that every single one of them, yeah, we're here for you, bro. But every single one of them were speaking to me in a way, and God was allowing it to be spoken to me in a way that I was the one who was acknowledging how to do it for myself. Because they
Yeah,
all three knew that they couldn't do nothing for me unless I was going to do something for myself. You know, I mean, Plain and simple. And
Yeah,
so that's
definitely.
why I'm out here today, right now, talking, because it's not like yesterday and the day before was not like me. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you tick me off and you hurt other people, I will stand up against the wrong.
Definitely.
I will. I have no problem against that. But when I have other things that get involved that are personal, that really do affect me, and this is nothing, this gets to me. And I have to go and compartmentalize and be like, what is more important? This right here is to help people. I'm not
Yeah.
here to point anybody out. You want to go and accept somebody that's going to guide you the wrong way? Be my guest. Be my guest. You want to believe in somebody that's going to talk God to you and realistically they're going to call you a devil? Be my guest. Be my guest. You do what you have to do. But please, the one thing I ask everybody to do is take a look at yourself and your relationship with God. And I'm not saying, oh, I know religion, or I take a step back from everything you think you know and ask yourself, does the relationship you have with God act like he would be treating you the way that he would want to be treated? And that you're treating him the way that he wants to be treated, not the way that you want to treat him. There's a difference. We think because we're humans down here, and myself, I've been doing this almost the last 3 days, thinking that I'm gonna listen, God's gonna guide me, and I'm just gonna go and God is, but I'm hurting, because I do have these struggles. These are real to me. Okay? You want to make fun of that I don't have a girl in my life for 20 plus years? Fine. Do you know the reason why? The reason why is I couldn't work it out. I was very, inconsiderate in the sense that I was I didn't put the effort into it. I didn't show them the same thing that they showed me. So if I noticed that at a certain age, why would I continue to do that bad behavior?
Yeah.
That's what I see in Morgan. A lot of that right now because I see that how old are you, bro?
I'm 27, dude.
Right. Right.
I'm 27.
31's
Yeah.
coming quick. 31's coming quick.
I'm about to be 28 in September.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Oh,
31's coming quick. And
yeah.
for you to recognize, so you're 26. So 25 is when I decided to go to school. When I decided to go back to school to get an education in computer animation. 29 is when I got the slam in the face that you needed to get a job. Well, how do I get a job? You need experience. How do I get experience? You need a job. I was trying to get an internship, but virtually impossible. Nowadays, it's like you need money. Like you can barely get a job. It's really hard. Like unless you're doing physical labor, like where there can't be computers and automated stuff taking over, like you are not really going to get a job nowadays unless you got a really high skill. You know, a lot of that is the reason why I am so convicted to doing this. I'm convinced that this is what I need to do. I just need to make sure that what I'm doing is not this
See,
back and forth where I'm trying to be a person of a protector and also a person that is giving you tools to guide yourself so you can protect yourself.
yeah.
I was told my whole life by my mom, I wish I could teach you how to fish. I wish I learned how to fish. I sure knew how to eat the fish that was given to me. I'm learning how to eat the fish through this slow process. You know, I don't expect Morgan to eat the fish the same way that I'm eating the fish. You know what I mean? Morgan has different stage in life, man. He's got a girl in his life. He's got a life in his life. He's got different aspects that he's looking at. If he tells a little bit about his story, please do. I mean, tell what you've been thinking about if you don't mind. What's been going on your thought plate?
Um, honestly, the job thing that's real struggle, dude. Honestly, that's been my main. That's been my main. I've been main priority and stuff, and it's just been a reckless year, dude. And it just sucks.
And what does
But
it what does it do when you recognize that sort of upsets you? Like that's probably the
oh,
first
it
thing in the
depresses
morning,
me.
right?
In my head, it makes me want to. You know where it takes me.
Right.
But
So let me ask you: would you be interested in like you said you'd be interested in 7 days of doing the grateful thing in the morning, and if it
oh
does
yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah. Yes,
um,
yes.
But you said, like, we agreed, like, if it doesn't do anything, you stop. Like, if it doesn't
Yeah,
do
yeah.
anything, you don't. But it's up, like,
That's up to me. Yeah,
right.
the
That's up
only
to you,
person that can progress is me.
and it's your
The
intention.
only person that can guide is you. The only opinions I can take is yours, and the only thing I can
Well,
do is take it in.
okay. So I thank you so much, but the only way that this happens is if I'm sharing to you what God is guiding me.
Yeah,
God is guiding you too. God is having a conversation between the two of us right now, making sure that it's docile enough and gentle enough that I'm not sitting here. And I've done this through our whole friendship. I've always made sure that if I've said things that are more like an advicey thing, I've said, look, if I'm triggering you, please let me know because I don't want to do that. So you've let me know
yeah,
times, not triggered you, but that I'm talking about things that could get you into an uncomfortable situation.
yeah. I really don't
This is
talk to
the
the job up much, the job thingy much, because it does depress me.
well,
It brings it back.
and that's
Yeah,
fine.
it goes back into my head and it cycles through, and then it just like
Well, that's where we get to go and practice something right now called trap.
trap.
So right now, if you'd like to,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is an
Tell me whatever you got to tell me. I'm down, man.
I will give you one the type
These
to
guys are the
read
type to
versus.
read verses. I think for this topic, these verses may help.
Oh, look at her. She's going to
See,
bring us some
verses.
Bible
Okay,
verses.
okay, cool.
Libby, that's awesome. We got Joe here too.
Hey, Joe.
Joe will be verifying. um,
Like
that's
honestly,
all awesome.
even the breathing method and stuff, I honestly haven't even worked on that either. So if you can even show me on this live stream how to do it, I'm glad to show me, man, because I don't do it.
Well, okay, you want to try it really quick? I'll show
Yeah,
you two
yeah,
things
yeah.
really quick.
Show me, ready?
Let me show you this first. So because you were a little triggered off of that little thing, I want to show you really quick because we recognize it. So you're not triggered anymore,
I'm
but
not
easily you
triggered,
could get
but it's
triggered,
in my head. I can
right?
feel like when I'm stressed,
Okay,
I feel it on my shoulder. Like it's
okay,
just like a weight. I don't really have to explain it. So
okay.
just
So you do. I know exactly what you're saying. So your shoulders get tight, your neck gets you might get a little bit of a headache.
burns
Yeah,
and stuff and all that.
yeah.
Yeah,
So imagine this. When you're triggered, what happens if you don't get out of it?
it gets
You get
worse.
trapped. No, you
I
get
get
well,
trapped.
yes, you get trapped,
Yeah, I
right?
get trapped. Yeah,
Okay. So imagine if I share with you something that was shared to me by Joe.
yeah.
Okay, so really quickly we're going to read it. Luke 6 um verse 37, Matthew. Oh, so you're just putting what to read. Okay, okay, okay,
I
okay.
get to read.
So you're
Okay.
not putting up the verses. Yeah, I didn't think you could put the verses there. They'd be too long. Thank you, Libby. Well, I'll take a screenshot of that and I'll check that out. Even though I don't read the Bible, I will talk to
I
my
don't
Bible
read the I don't have a
verify
Bible,
it.
but I'll end up getting the
We
Bible.
will get that. We will get
Okay.
that worked on right there because I
Hey,
think
but
that
let's
that
try to
is
do some Bible verses on here. That'd be cool too, because I haven't. I mean, I read some parts of the Bible, but I've never caught interest in it, and that's the.
okay. So check this out. This
Oh,
is what I'm working on right now. Is I'm working on a way to bring mental health and the Bible and Torah together by not bringing it in a level where you already know it. I want to
yeah,
bring it in a level where you're like a little kid learning it in both aspects on how God is the one that helps you get your mental control. Your mental mastery is
like a
what
building
gives you
pastor.
the level to be able to extend your life longer. If we have more control over ourselves, imagine how many good things that you could probably think of. You don't need to say them right now, but if you could think about every single thing that has really got you got triggered, you got messed, whatever it was, how many of those situations turned into bad situations that you wish you could go back to and be like, if I could just do it a different way, I wouldn't have gotten into a fight. I wouldn't have gotten into this argument. I wouldn't have lost this job. I would still have this person in my life. I would have whatever
Yeah,
it may, but it's because that we don't have these tools because we're types of people that are irregulated because we have, I mean, I have complex PTSD, but I'm pretty sure from your childhood you got that same thing.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
you
I
get
never got diagnosed with PTSD.
you don't get diagnosed with it. You the symptoms are what they are. You know what I mean? The diagnosis comes from what happened to you that made you turn that trauma into something that is a reaction post after it. See, the post is after it. So it's the end of the game. The game happened. You have a broken leg. Your leg is
Yeah, they
broken
broke
for
the
how
cycle.
long?
They broke that cycle of living, and it messed with my growing up cycle.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
exactly. So my
Yes.
first thing was a loss at 4 years old. So
Yes.
everything that meant
It's a
to
different
me, what
cycle. It's
that
a different
loss
cycle of
meant.
life. Yeah.
So everything that you went through that associated the same feeling, it meant the same thing to you, even if it was like, hey, this little remote control doesn't mean nothing to anybody,
Okay.
but
I don't want to
you
say that. I don't want to bring this because it has a little negativity in it, but not much. It's not bad where
try
it
to
can
find.
be
Well, let
said.
me ask you something. Let me ask you. Try to find. Look at it before you say it. Look at it and recognize what you're going to say. Is there a way that you can turn any of that negativity into something that
It,
would?
it involves having it has a okay. Well, it involves a bully and it involves a dead family member of mine. That's why I don't know how to really put it. But it happened to me when
Okay,
I was
so you
young.
know we don't talk dead. We talk unalive. I understand what
Okay.
you're saying. We talk unalive, and
Okay.
we talk unalive for the other thing too. So I
Yeah.
understand where
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going with
Well,
this.
I was just trying to be, in.
If you want to express that story, because I know that it means a lot to you.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying when I express a story as a kid at a age, I don't know how to express it. Is what I'm saying. So when you have a bully that makes fun of a family member that's deceased, how would you? I didn't know how to take it in. That's
Okay,
mostly that's mostly
so
how it started.
we're not programmed, I don't think, at kids. Like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 year old, 9 year old kid is not programmed to handle those complexities of somebody saying something bad about somebody that you protect, that you
Yeah.
love, that you don't
Yeah.
know if they're good or bad, but you know that they're everything to you. So
Yeah.
that kid is doing it intentionally. They probably hear it at their own home. They probably have, like, they're probably treated that way, or they hear somebody else treated like that. Like, what I'm trying to express to people is that everything that has happened to me in my life that shows out here is nothing, okay, but examples of what really happened. So when I'm 4 years old and I'm losing a person that means something to me, that is a situation that at 4 years old, there's no way that 4 year old knows what the outcome is going to be, nor does that 4 year old even recognize the position that it's in. The
Yeah.
parents are totally in control. The brain is in the sponge state. So when somebody's talking about a family member that you might be, how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
Maybe about I think 8 years old. Honestly, I think maybe 7.
Okay.
It's one of the other.
7 years old is the transition stage. 7 years
Yeah.
old, you start discerning things. So imagine 6 years old, and you said that certain things, like, you took a little bit, it took a little longer or a little bit shorter to learn. I was the same way. It took sometimes a little bit longer for me to learn things. Sometimes I learned it really quick.
I still
Maybe
have
learning
heard
the
it.
social, well, maybe
Yeah.
learning the social, like, understanding of, hey, this person's talking bad to you. Well, the only way that someone like you and me
Well,
maybe can take it is
after
is it
so
hurts us.
long, the only time I do how to see as at that age of an early age, the only way I knew how to fight back is to act the same way, and
That's what I was
that's
saying.
what it turned into. That's what it turned into.
Right.
I don't like that.
Do you know what the terrible twos
That's what
are?
turned me into this. That's what turned me
Do
into
you,
this.
do you know what the terrible twos are?
No, I
Okay.
don't.
So the terrible twos happen at 3 years old. They call them the terrible twos because the 3 year old has been hearing from 2 years old, no, no, don't touch that. Don't do that. You're going to burn yourself. No, no, no. So what do you think they say at 3 years old, or right before they turn 3 years old? No, I'm not going to listen to you. No, I want my
No,
I want my
no.
independence. All about independence now. Now they're
So
turning from
they're gonna
no's
start hitting you and stuff or slapping you or something.
a little bit, depending upon
I've
how
seen
you
my
reprimanded.
nephew would do that. My nephew does that.
Well, we don't need the thing about it is that it's a control mechanism that a child doesn't have any understanding of unless somebody that understands how to put the guideline into the. So there's a couple ways to do it. Smack the kid in the ass. That kid's gonna learn soon enough. That's a horrible way. That's a fucking horrible way. Sorry for my language. Your kid talks back to you at an old adult age, thinks that they can kick your butt. That's a different story. But
I've
when
seen
your
it
kid
before.
is trying to grow up, you don't discipline a kid that's not doing something that is a physical and a really aggressive bad thing with a physical.
Especially at especially at that age.
You don't ever do it.
Oh, I
Physical
never do
abuse
it,
is
but
physical abuse is never, dude. And
yeah,
anybody that believes that physical abuse is the right way, you're setting a precedent to have somebody be another physical abuser,
yeah,
because what you're doing is you're setting to that child, You know something? If I can't get control of myself, the physical abuse happens because you're not mad at the kid for being a kid. You're mad that you can't control the kid. So the kid, you're going to go and punish the kid with a hit instead of you
Yeah,
taking
so
the
it's either
pictures
they
and
learn
saying,
or
"Hey."
rebel. It's just one or the other. And
And the kid knows it because what happens later on in life is the kid goes,
they'll see
"Hey,
it. They
my
don't
my
care.
parent never had patience for me. They always hit me. They always demanded me." My dad was all
Uh,
about this.
my
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 dad didn't
parents.
care so much about respect. I mean, sorry, care so much about love. He said, "You're good. You have to respect me. I don't need you to love me." I
Yeah,
didn't do either, all the way till the end of his life. You see, so it didn't work out for him to demand on respect because I'm the type of person that if I love you, I respect you automatically. And I don't
yeah.
know if that's the right way or the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, because I look at people that have to have respect, that love is fear.
Give respect, or
Like, if
yeah,
I'm,
earn respect to give respect, kind of thing.
yeah, like you're not gonna make me respect you. You're gonna earn the respect. You're
Yeah,
gonna be a
just like
good person.
anybody
You're gonna
else would
show me
expect.
by
You know.
good
Yeah.
examples.
Thank you, Libby. Hope this helps you, Morgan, and I'm preparing. Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, Libby. I appreciate that, Libby. I know that this is a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, and there's some days that I just get a little out of control because I just get very upset personally that it doesn't get taken as serious as I believe that it is. It is the change of the world. Okay, there's
The
people that
world is
have
changing, right? The world is changing.
no. But what I mean that this is the change, Morgan. The
Yeah.
change in the world is not the politicians and not all this. It's everybody understanding that if we take the gift that God gave us, which was to control ourselves, to have the control of our mind, to have the control to help ourselves, to have the control to take care of ourselves and treat ourselves the way that we should be treated, so we treat others the way that we want to be treated. All these aspects right here, we wouldn't need government. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have anything because everything is abundant. If we didn't pollute the water, there's 70% of, sorry, 80% of the world, I think, is
So
water.
people
70%.
don't. So what you're trying to say is a lot of people don't have self-respect. That's why that happened.
The way that the world is right now, if you go look at it, there's something called the quantum field that talk about. What I do bad hurts
You
you.
heard it that way before.
What I do bad hurts you. Okay. And what you do bad hurts me. What I
Yeah,
do
it's
good
just a
helps
yeah,
you. What you
opposite
do good
effect.
helps me.
Just
We're
opposite effect.
thousands of miles away from each other. How does that work? You know how it works is because all the space that's around us is
Air,
connected by something called ether, the
ether.
quantum field. Ether is the fifth element. AETHER.
Yeah,
Okay. Is the fifth
never heard
element.
of that.
It is the unseen element. It is the element that people don't utilize. They utilize the least. What gives us free energy. It's what gives us our energy on a daily basis. Do you know that we replenish over, I don't know exactly the number is, but I know that there's over a couple trillion cells, a couple
Hmm.
trillion human cells in our body every day that die and through our sleep relive.
You generate.
So they don't regenerate the dead ones; they regenerate new
They
ones.
just regenerate back after they die.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
that's fine,
They
okay.
die and they
Just
get lost. They
regenerate.
go through the system, and then
Okay,
you get they replenish you with new ones.
okay.
So this is on the trillions. We're talking about trillions. This is what our body is capable of doing.
Wow, how do you know that?
Our body is also able to take all of the negativity of all the product of G5, electric, computers, AC, all the things that are not natural for us, and
Yeah,
confuse our frequencies, make our vibrations unstable. And that's where sickness comes in. It's called dis-ease. Disease is dis-ease. It's dis-ease of your cells. Every time we get stressed out, every time we get angry, every time we get frustrated, every time we get into a position that we don't know how to get out of, like mentally, every time we get into something financially, any kind of stress takes these abilities away from us.
yeah.
Like if we didn't have all these responsibilities, it seems like it would be really boring. But imagine if we had everything of God. How wonderful it could be if
It'll be like a paradise.
it could be. I'm not saying that it
If
is.
you make
I'm
it
just
that way,
saying
it
that
could be.
if we think that you having $1 million is going to give you something good. Imagine
See,
how much more you would get from
that's the thing.
God's
I'm not a greedy. I'm
$1 million.
not a greedy. See, that's the thing about it. I'm not a greedy person. If I know I have that much money, you think I'm not going to help people out? You know,
It's not
I'm just.
about that. It's
I
about
know,
that. I think the
but
reason why people
but
get
that's
that
how
kind of
my
money
brain
is
works. So
no,
that's how my brain works, though. You know.
right. But then that's the reason why we don't get that money.
I know, because that's when they get used by people and stuff. But I'm too gullible. That's what it is.
It's that, and it's also remember something. The what power bemonks power. And
It's
so if you
ridiculous.
have a lot of money, you
It's
start
ridiculous.
thinking that you know more than other people just because you have money. Like like to me, you don't
I
know
mean,
more than
I've seen people have money and still be the same. I mean, there's some people like that. Like
true.
it's
No, no,
all. I
true.
mean,
I've seen that too. I've seen
yeah,
that too. I
yeah.
I I just feel that the goal with this between you and I is going to be a daily feature. We're going to do it an hour,
I'll
an
do
hour and
this
a half,
daily.
maybe.
I'll do this daily with you. I don't. That's fine.
No, that's what I'm saying. We'll do it
Yeah.
daily. I can't set a schedule yet. I can't set a schedule yet.
Well, yeah.
We'll
Just
do it
whenever
daily.
you need me, I'll be here. I mean,
It'll be a
I
practice,
have nothing but time. So
but it'll be a practice to where we're scheduling this in. We're going to do this in a cycle. We're
schedule
going to do
cycles.
this to where
Okay.
we're going to advance each other. I'm going to practice what I've been practicing that I somehow
I'm gonna practice you what you give me, so I can learn.
and we're going to practice together and we're going to utilize tools and I'm going to share stuff with him that I'm going to ask him to sort of trigger me a little bit. Please.
So earlier, can you help me with that breathing process thingy?
Okay, so what I wanted to do is the trap. So the trap was this: you were trapped a little bit about the whole thing with the
The
what
job.
what you do is when you notice your trap is what you're doing is you're recognizing. So that's the R in the trap.
I recognize
So,
this trap.
so no, trap is TRAP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait.
So trap, the T stands for trigger. If you
Okay.
stay triggered and you don't do the other three letters, you stay trapped. But if
Okay.
you go from the trigger to the R, now
I
you're
got that.
recognizing your trigger. So now you're
Recognize.
stopped triggered and you're recognizing that, hey, I'm a little ticked right now. Something's going on
Okay.
that I don't like. You go and analyze, you're like, oh, okay, now this is what's going on that I don't like.
So you're
What's
breaking down the
preferable?
words.
No. What's preferable? Is it better for me to continue with that bad behavior that's not going to get me nowhere? Or is it better for me to just pivot? That's the P into a better positive process.
So when I'm that way, just think of trap.
When you get triggered, if you stay triggered, you're trapped. If you use trap, you can get out of the trap.
Okay. Okay. I haven't
So
used. I mean,
trap
I'll
is
use the
spelled
method.
TRAP,
Yeah.
but
TRAP
trap the
trap.
algorithm,
Yeah.
and then look at it as
So it's
an
trapped.
acronym.
So T means for trapped. R means for
No.
recognize.
T stands for trigger.
Trigger. Yeah. Yeah.
R stands for R stands for recognize. Look at it like
Okay.
this. It was hard for me to get to recognize it. Recon eyes. Like you're
Recognize.
reconning. You're reconning the view to see what's out
Recognizing.
there.
Instead of recon, but recognize.
Right,
Recognize.
recon eyes.
Recognize.
Okay, that helped me get it because it was like, what am I looking for? You're looking to
Recon. Oh,
learn.
recognize.
Right. You're
Visualize. Might as well call it
right. You're
visual. Right?
visualizing what just happened. Why did I? But you're doing it in your mind, and this is part
Yeah.
of mental mastery. You're now taking the trigger that somebody in your face, and that's why I was saying practice with a television, because like you don't have somebody in front of you that you want to go knock out, and what you do is you turn off the television once you get triggered. So now once you trigger and you get recognized, now you turn the TV off and you go analyze. You go and you pivot, and then you go turn the TV on and get triggered again. You do it as a game to see how many times you can get this practice down to where the
Packaging.
not maintain the trap, or the trap does not maintain the trigger. You
So
go
when it's
through
human, so when it's happening
acronym.
human based, and just it'll be easier for me.
Do you know why there's so many people against the situation of what I'm talking about?
I honestly don't know. I don't.
And but I'm gonna answer you right now. So do you notice one thing that they like to talk about mental health?
What?
Do you notice that the other people that we were talking to, we don't mention any names, that they like to bring up subjects about mental health?
Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know
They do. Yeah,
they
yeah,
bring it up all the time, but they're
yeah.
only bringing up the subject about what they're going through.
Going.
They're
Yeah, yeah,
only
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for they're not looking for any solutions. They're not talking about any trap. They're not talking about any of these
So
psychological
it's the
and
same situation. If a bully was bullied, well, the reason why they're bullying you is because they're being bullied somewhere else.
Well, no,
In,
don't
in a
bring
different
that
construct.
psychological
In a
stuff.
different
I'm talking
construct.
about how do you work through that bully? That's what they're not bringing up.
Yeah.
Of course, they can bring up that, hey, the bully just doesn't like himself, and that's why he's bullying you. I could say that too.
Yeah.
But if I can get you to understand trap by the end of, let's say, a month, and then I see you get triggered at something, and you
It's
go,
gonna happen eventually, man. It's gonna happen eventually.
dude, it'll happen. It'll happen in the next 2, 3 days to you if you start putting some effort into it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you a sheet of the what the meanings are. I'll send it
Okay.
to you so you can have it. You can just look at it, and you can decide if this is something that best suits you. It's 3 different things. You try them. The breathing thing I'm going to show you right now. So the breathing thing is it's not easy, but it's easy. All you're going to do is breathe through your nose into your diaphragm. No, you got it. Yeah, you got it. And not out your mouth. You're
Okay.
going to go hold it for a second for 4 seconds and exhale for 6. No, not your mouth. Try to
I
do
keep doing
everything
that.
through
I
your.
know. I know.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. It'll take some time. You're gonna try to breathe everything through your nose as slow as you can for 4 seconds into your diaphragm. At first, if you need to, start letting it go right away. Just 4 seconds, slowly let it out your nose. Then repeat it into your nose, into the diaphragm. When you get better at doing this, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can do different time signatures.
Well, when I see, this is my opinion. When I'm doing it now, it feels like you're building up pressure, and that pressure is letting go. You're building up pressure, it's letting go. Like when you're breathing in slowly.
Well, are you breathing into your lungs? Because if you're breathing in
Yeah,
your lungs, you're not doing it right.
yeah. I'm breathing through
You got
my
to
yeah.
breathe
I'm
in
breathing
through your.
through my nose.
No, 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 no. Watch. This
Okay.
is what I'm saying. No. Watch. Watch my hand. I'm not going in my lungs. I'm not going
Okay.
up here. It's going up here too, but I'm breathing in through my diaphragm. You
Maybe
got
I'm
to
just.
breathe into your diaphragm to feel the physiological state because what you're doing is
Maybe
you're
I'm not
putting
feeling.
these.
Okay.
I mean, you might be doing it because you got a little bit of a belly, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
No, right. It'll take a little work because you breathe a lot through your lungs, I believe.
Damn it.
No, look right here. Your diaphragm's right here, right by your belly, right by your belly. It's right below your right below your lungs area, right
Yeah.
here. Just feel your like waistline. You can feel your waistline. A lot of people, what they do is they do this. They take their sides, and if they go out just a little bit, like a little bit, just like that, you're breathing through your diaphragm because your diaphragm doesn't just go up and back like this; it goes out too. So,
Okay, I got it now. Okay.
okay, now you do that slowly, and you focus on the breathing in and the breathing through your diaphragm. And what I say is always hold your from the beginning. You're going to want to hold your stomach, and you're going to want to hold your chest to see which is breathing. So your stomach looks like it's breathing. But you also seem like you're trying to pull too much in, and this is an exercise that you want to do 4 in
Okay.
slow, and then exhale 4 out slow. So I'll count for you. So when you start to breathing, so 1, 2. So just count. Let me just count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can do that at any pace. You can get metronomes. They have these things called singing bells. I'll send you some of the videos. You'll listen to it like a little bing go
So
ding.
you're just copying the pace.
It's giving you the time, so you don't even need to count it. Some
Okay.
people find it a little annoying because like, why am I listening to something? So I find it sometimes a little bit easier for me to count it in my head because I'm waiting sometimes for that fourth or
I do
sixth one.
feel better. Yeah.
The
I
thing
mean,
about it is you will get clearer. Like you'll get, and this will help you through this period of time that that you told me you're going to be going through, because
yeah.
what it'll do is it'll
No,
give you that it'll give you that
I'm about to be
breathing
transition.
aspect.
I'm literally switching from a Morgan to a whole different Morgan.
And look, I mean, I think it's cool that you're here willing to show that side of you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I think it's
I
cool
think it's a
too,
little
but
dangerous.
I'm
Hello,
ready for
Peter,
the.
brother. What's going
I
on?
can't
Morgan,
say,
see Peter Morgan.
hey Peter, what's up, man? But
Um,
yeah, it's going to be a process. I can't expect it to happen within the year, like, or even within the months. It's just going to take progress. So it's
but
going to
let
take
me tell
time.
you something. The more effort you put in, the quicker it's going to happen for us.
Yes.
So it's like this. I'm going to put in as much as I possibly can put in. I'm going to be putting it in for myself. I'm going to be encouraged seeing what you put in for yourself, and that's going to give me the extra bit to give, to want to show, to give to you, like what's happening with me. So
Yeah.
it's about a self-propelling thing. Like if you say, "Hey, Todd, I don't feel good," or "Hey, I got to do something," I'm cool with that. But there again, if it's like how
Yeah,
the
like a
mind works,
constant
the mind
thing
is
and
going to
stuff,
trick
and
you.
you don't want to do it. Yeah, yes, yes.
Right, the mind's going to trick you.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not going to fight you on it. This is about you having your own self personal control. I can't hold you accountable.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you know that, right? You
I'm
you
only
hold
one.
yourself,
I don't get myself accountable. Yeah,
right? You hold your own
and
self
it's
accountable.
something I wanted, so
No,
it's
right, right.
something I wanted.
And
So
you seem to like you
there's no
seem to
reason
go
why
a
I should
little
waste.
overboard.
I'm not gonna waste your time. There's no. I want to ask you this. It's a waste of time. I'm not like that.
No, I mean you're not even really asking me. I asked you earlier if this is
I
something that
know,
you'd be
but
interested
I'm
in
not. I'm
doing.
not a person to waste people's time. Like
I
we
know.
can try it and see where it gets us after a week. But I'm not. I'm not there to waste anybody's time. So
No, and that doesn't mean that we stop talking. That just
no,
means
no,
that
no,
I
no,
would
no.
I would focus more on my side of the channel. That means that we can still come on every now and then and
Yeah,
do our
yeah, yeah.
thing, but it wouldn't be about. I mean, it
Mental health.
would. I would still
Oh yeah,
try
yeah,
to
yeah.
try to push you to do it, but at the same time, it could also be about other subjects that are going on,
Yeah.
because I do know that I've seen a growth in you ever since the whole thing happened with the separation of MCK, and I've seen you. I know you struggle just like me, and I know that you achieve things that are just like me, and you deserve some things, and I know that you've seen like some of the things like I've seen, some of the like the disbandment and the people that are like just willing to abandon, and they have the same mental health problems that we do, but they're like, well, that
They
person
don't
over
want to
there is willing to
recognize
work.
it. They just want to be
Yeah, they don't
selfish.
want to work on them at all. That's the whole thing. That's what I was saying before. Like if you go around somebody that wants to work on something, and then like see, so you might be on the fence every now and then. I might be on the fence every now and then, but those people are not even on the fence. You see what I mean? So if they're not on the fence, they don't know that they have something going on. So they're not even going to associate, because what I'm learning and what people have been sharing with me is that the psychological evaluation of the way people are gathering, I'm talking the herd
Yeah,
mentality, is that if me and you are sitting here talking about something that doesn't really resonate with maybe only 5 people, but there's somebody over there saying a joke that resonates with 100 people, where do you think those 100 people are going to go? They're going to go to the person selling the joke, because they don't want to have to think about anything more than just laughing.
yeah.
That's not, and I realize that that's not a knock on them. Life is hard. Life is very hard.
Everybody just got different preferences, but there's a whole difference by having preferences and taking, to a whole different level. You're here because you're a critical thinker, is what Carter's Corner says. Oh, thank
Yeah,
you. That's why you got
exactly.
subscribed by me. Thank you.
Yeah,
We
he's
love you,
awesome,
Carter's
man.
Corner. I hope your life gets better, buddy.
Oh, he's got a great life, man. No,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not Carter's
I bet
Corner.
you he
No, that's
does. I
not
bet
Carter's
you he
Corner. That's
does.
Carter's Corner Pocket.
Oh,
That's not crazy. No, no. This is this
okay.
guy. This is Team 51. He's Team 51.
Okay, what's
He's
up,
awesome, dude.
Corner? What's up, Pocket Man? My bad, I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
recognize
he's
it until a
awesome,
minute.
dude. He
After I
likes
seen that, I was like, okay,
GME.
well,
Yeah, I know who you were talking about. He's
yeah.
a he's a new proud papa. Well, I mean, not super new. I mean, it's already, I think, 3 months, right? Three, two,
Oh,
three and a half,
I
3 years.
think I met him. I think I've heard him. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you met him on here before.
Yeah,
Marantz Rants. I talk about him. Marantz
yeah. Okay.
Rants.
Oh, it was Oh, so he changed his name.
No, no, no. Marantz
Oh,
Rants. Him and
Marantz
Marantz
Rants.
Rants are like they're boys. And so,
Okay,
so right now, Marantz Rants might be doing something, but and he doesn't come by as often. But Carter's Corner Pocket and me, we associate. We talk to each other on each other's lives and stuff like that. He's cool. He does his own thing too.
yeah.
He
I
does a
thought that was
live where
Carter's.
he's
I thought that was Carter's quarter for a minute. I was like, okay, well, here we
there's
go.
listen, there's so many names that are on here that are just like, and the weird thing about it is like, okay, so Carter's Corner Pocket, I was not able to find you because your head what is that called again? Your
Your niche.
handle is not the same as your name. Now I got lucky with my mind game, but I had to put the second my in there, because if I put it just mind games, it didn't like it. It wanted to give me numbers, and I didn't
Yeah,
want to have numbers. So I noticed that some people are able to find a way to get their name, and some people are, or their title of their business, and some people are not. So I wonder, like, you CCP, that I got to check it out later on. I got to check out what your handle is. But so yeah, the last couple of days have been a little bit of me I don't want to say out of sorts. It's not out of sorts. It's how I do everything. I mean, I'm not perfect, man. I'll be the first person to tell you that I can be the
No
biggest
one's
fraud in the
perfect.
world.
But nobody's perfect. That's the only
And I
thing.
don't want to be. I don't ever want to consider myself as perfect. What I do want to consider myself is someone that if I do something wrong to people intentionally, I will say I'm sorry. If I do wrong to people that have done wrong to me, there's no way I say sorry. What I
Yeah.
realized through this last attempt right here is that we both are sorry for even allowing it. Like, so I'm sorry
Yeah.
not for what they did or what I did to them. It's I'm sorry for even allowing myself to get into that position. Like,
Yeah.
that's
You
not
guys
the
have to,
proper
yeah.
attitude to have, especially when you want to talk about mental health awareness and you want to help people and you have mental health situations going on and you're working through them. And then you're sitting there going through like a situation where you're sitting there. I
Trying
was
to compare.
defending myself, people, but that's no excuse, okay? It's no excuse. You don't defend yourself. Like, two wrongs don't make a right. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say. And I know
Yes.
that I have to realize that I don't forgive these people for what they did to me in the sense like that. I forgive them because it's what me and God have to deal with. God expects that of me to not, and so I don't hold anything against them. What it was is I was trying to make sure that they didn't do it to anybody else. But look, you know something? I would love to sit here and be like, I can protect everybody, but I can't.
No.
You're only going to figure out what you can do for yourself by doing it for yourself. You okay?
Huh? Yeah. My arm. It's like
Your arms are hurting.
I can't bend it no more.
That's what happens when you work out too much in a day.
Oh man.
He's an
Bend.
overachiever, everybody. He's an overachiever. But he has to. That's part of that's part of his trauma. It's like, it's like he gets
I had
into a
to.
mode, like me too. Like, if you get into something and something works, it's almost like he knows that exercise gets his mind off of the stuff that drives him sort of cuckoo, and he's like, okay, I'm just going to exercise. Well, oh, I just over exercised.
Yeah, that's why I'm not working out today because I
Yeah.
overdid it. Uh,
I do
and
hope everybody's having a wonderful, blessed day. We've had 57 minutes here. How are you doing, sir?
oh, I'm doing
Uh, we
good.
got we got Carter's Corner Pocket come in saying hello. We got then we got Peter Perg saying hello. We have Libby from over there over at hanging out. Um, we got who else do we got? We got Morgan, we got Nancy, we got Lisa, got Style. Nancy Green was in the house. Libby hanging
It's
out
all we
over at
need.
Morgan.
It's all we need.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. It's like, so right now I'd like to end this with a heart and a prayer to God. Thank you, God, for joining us together and allowing myself and Morgan to be able to have a communication with people about what we really believe. Right? We are triggered people. We do have situations that happen, but we are grateful that you allow us to work through them and recognize them as soon as possible. And I'm grateful that Morgan is here. And I'm thanking you for allowing us to share this message. And I apologize for the schmutz from yesterday. Thank you. And I love you. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Just know that myself and I know that Morgan for a fact is not, we're not vindictive. We're not malicious and vindictive people. We just get to the point where we're vulnerabilities get to the point where we really, you know, I look at it as my strength. Morgan hasn't seen it as his strength yet because it still frustrates him, but it still frustrates me too when it happens to me that when when people take advantage of you and they don't give you anything at all and they still keep beating you down and they know that you have things going on too, like, hey, you're not the only one that has a messed up life. So do I. They're like, well, we don't care about you. Like, it messes with people like Morgan and me. And especially when we see it happen to other people that we like and that we care about. And that when it happens to other people that we thought were loyal to us and trusted us and that we trusted. That's
Oh
the
yeah, it
hardest
hurts. It
part right
hurts.
there.
It hurts. Yeah, it definitely hurts.
It
I didn't
hurts.
want to have to go back and say what I did or, delete people, but to get away from the negative, I had to to delete them, and that's just what it had to be. So that's. That's something I had to take out.
This is not a, we're not here to hurt anybody.
No.
Okay. Everybody that got in the middle of the situation, was there for a couple reasons. And I'm sorry that you were there on behalf of my personal
Oh, I know you're sorry, man, but
what
you can't
happened. No, no,
you
no, I
can't
know.
control
They
destiny
were,
because whatever happened happened.
no.
So
I'm not sorry about what happened. I'm sorry that they
yeah.
got caught in the crossfire.
Oh, they got
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be caught in the crossfire. Yeah, they shouldn't have had to see something like
Yeah,
that
they
because
shouldn't
they're,
have.
but that's okay. So we say thank you to everybody. We are grateful for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, everybody, on this wonderful. This is going to be a beautiful Shabbos. Passover starts tomorrow for everybody in the world.
Take a
God
reset.
loves us, everybody. God loves us, everybody. And if we believe and we trust, God will show us so much more beauty than we can ever want for. And I know this because even when I wake up like a horrible day like I had today, I'm here right now at 5 o'clock. And I feel more at peace than I felt all day.
That's good. I'm glad you feel that way, man.
I'm thankful to everybody for being a part of this. And I'm glad that I got my brother over here. He's chilling out. I'm glad that he's doing so good. I really am. I mean,
Appreciate
it's
it.
hard to do things in life when you have the desire to do it with other people that want to utilize you. Like say, hey, like let's do this together, and then it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? It's hard. So what we have done here is I'm not going to push him to do anything he doesn't want, and he's not going to enforce anything that I sort of don't want here. So we're trying this out, but that doesn't mean we're going to go away. We have
No,
been
no.
consistent. We haven't always been on every day, but we have come back and forth. Like he's been one of the people that I've had on multiple times. We communicate very well together.
We're about a half a year of knowing each other. At least 5 months.
It's 5 months, yeah, because I've been
Yeah.
here. This is my 6th month, starting my sixth
Yeah.
month. So Morgan, would you like to
So
say anything, please?
6 more months will be a whole year.
Well, we got to get monetized for you. We got to get you monetized before then, because we
Yeah.
don't want that to happen. But look, it's not about the monetization. It's the sense that we're doing the right thing. The monetization will come.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The gifts
Monetization
of
will happen
God are going to be more beautiful
when
than
God
anything that
feels
we
like
want
it
from
should
you.
happen, then God will make it happen.
Exactly. Is
Yes.
there anything that you'd like to say to finish the discussion, sir?
I appreciate everybody being here and listening to my mental health issues and joining along with my journey on going to a different Morgan. So again, I do appreciate everybody stopping by and talking to me and Todd about mental awareness.
Thank you so much. This is Mind Games. We talk about mental mastery. Your mind is not a game. So mental health is not a game, but mastering your mind is the aim. Awareness, insight, and mindfulness. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank you, Morgan.
You're welcome.